Good morning and welcome to Somerset News Network. We went up to the March to Leave yesterday up near Kirby. Videos on this channel. Brilliant bunch of people, and they're on their way to London, and the numbers are expanding. They said that lots of supporters can't come out because they're at work, but they're taking a day off and they're going to London. So London's going to be the big day on Friday. So good luck everybody on the march. And leave, yeah, leave means leave. I'm all for it. Important things happened last night in Parliament. All the BBC this morning are talking about is the 8 motions that were rejected by Parliament. But there was an important motion put forward that the BBC are not talking about. The government have been forced to put a statutory instrument before Parliament. Now what we've got is the Withdrawal Act, which they passed, that said we withdraw on the 29th of March, which is Friday. The EU put an extension, or offered us an extension, and number 10 agreed to it by our man in Brussels, Tim Barrow, writing a letter back to the EU accepting it. But unfortunately, the Withdrawal Act, which is an act of Parliament, says that we leave on the 28th, so it hasn't been extended. So the backbenchers lobbied the government to have an SI, a statutory instrument, brought in to amend the bill. It's crazy that here we are voting to leave the EU and get out of the yoke and the rules of the EU, yet the EU still control us. So the government brought forward the statutory instrument to extend the Article 50, the date we leave, to April the 12th if they don't agree the May deal, or May the 20th if they do agree it. Now this is crazy. The EU are controlling what our legislation is doing. We voted to leave to get back our sovereignty, and our sovereignty lies within Parliament. If Parliament is having to pass acts or statutory instruments to fall in line or rubber stamp EU law, that's not what we wanted. We're trying to get out of the yoke of the EU. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But it's not being talked about on the BBC this morning. It's like it never happened. But Bill Cash, if you get a chance to see Bill Cash's speech, he made a brilliant speech. And I totally 100% agree with him. Now, where do we lead now? We got the May deal is unlikely to go back to Parliament. She is unlikely to get it through. It's been voted down twice. The Speaker has ruled that the motion, the bill to leave, or the May deal, shouldn't go back to Parliament unless there's substantial changes. There hasn't been substantial changes, therefore they're not bringing it back. And therefore, because the changes don't fit the people that are going to vote against it, it ain't going to pass. And it's as simple as that. So, as from today, the idea is that we now leave on April the 12th, and we leave with no deal. I've got no problems with that. Let's leave the EU, and then we can go to the EU and talk about our relationship. Because if we accept the May deal, we put this country into limbo land. We're either neither in or nor out, and we still have to accept all EU rules and legislation until we are out, and we can only come out when they let us. It's as simple as that. This isn't rocket science. The MPs are making it complicated. They're making it complicated because they want to stay in. Oh, it's too complicated to leave the EU. No, it isn't. We just leave. Sort the problems out as we go, as we find them. If we don't accept the May deal and we leave with no deal, we save ourselves 39 billion. And what would I do with that money? I would set some aside, maybe 5 billion, I don't know, maybe 10. Set it aside, put it in a pocket of the Treasury, and say that is to help businesses, free loans to help them through the transition period while we leave the EU and we negotiate a new deal with them. Yes, we will then have the money. If we give it to the EU and vote, if we vote for the May deal and then leave the EU, which we won't be, we won't have any money to help anybody. We might not even have money for police officers and the NSS. Austerity, you ain't seen nothing yet, I tell you. We are being sucked dry by the EU. So, watch this space, as they say. There's a lot going on. And I hope and I pray that April the 12th is the day we leave the EU. This is Ian saying goodbye, may your God go with you, for Somerset News Network.